we've got this amazing piece. Well, basically it's a counterpunch because clearly Newsroom knew that we were going to expose their founding editor, Mark Jennings, because last Friday on a government-funded, New Zealand On Air funded podcast that his company makes that gets more than $2 million a year in public funding, that his private company makes for state broadcaster Radio New Zealand on a platform, on a thing called The Detail, when discussing how terrible Winston Peters was and the terrible accusations he's made against mainstream media, here is what Mark Jennings said.
Quite a lot of talk and discussion in the media, particularly amongst senior editorial people, about whether we should even report Winston Peters' attacks on the media when he says there's corruption and clearly there's no basis for that, whether we should all just stick together and decide not to report him.
Amazing, and he hasn't resolved from that. Well, he can't. It's been recorded. And I asked him on this morning to explain what other news editors had considered that collusion, whether or not they get together regularly to decide what political parties they will or not report. And you look at it and maybe there's a pattern, like they all get together and they decide we're not going to have a debate on climate change anymore. Or we're not going to debate the dangers of surgical transitioning for young people. Or we're not going to debate drag queens going and reading stories to kids. Those are all the things the mainstream media have literally been paid by the government not to debate. And we won't debate, most importantly, the Treaty of Waitangi. So Mark Jennings, because we rang him yesterday, because we're good journalists and we offer people a chance to comment, Mark Jennings got his, supposedly political commentator, though he's really just a former Labour staffer, I think in Jacinda Ardern's office. He calls himself a tech entrepreneur, but I can't find a company. He just likes tech. A guy called Zach Thomas, they wrote a hit piece on me that they released about, an hour and a half ago, that they put behind their paywall. And I thought, I'm coming in cold, I thought I'd share it with you. Let's see what a serious taxpayer-funded broadcaster does when its news editor has revealed a level of collusion, very questionable collusion, amongst legacy media in this country. The week on The Bachelor, Winston versus David is the headline. If the platform continues to grow, so too will Editor-in-Chief Sean Plunket's influence on New Zealand politics. Who will win his heart, Winston Peters or David Seymour? An hour ago, I think this was published. Opinion. Yeah, because it ain't factual. David Seymour is a reality TV fanatic. Is he? I've never seen that. Following his iconic performance on Dancing with the Stars in 2018, he's back auditioning for a smaller yet even important audience. In a saga that rivals the most captivating Bachelor seasons, Seymour and Winston Peters have been deep in the Game of Roses over the past 2 years, displaying the full array of love languages as they attempt to win the heart of the platform creator and multi-millionaire Wayne Wright Jr. What a weird... Okay, that's weird. It's a contest that has serious consequences not just for ACT and New Zealand First's electoral futures, but also for the shape of the conservative movement in New Zealand. The platform is a digital media startup founded by Wright and the controversial... Oh, what a hackneyed old phrase that is. Why not use long-serving and highly recognised media broadcaster Sean Plunket? The outlet has become the most, and I love this, thanks Zach, the outlet has become the most significant entrant to New Zealand's conservative media landscape. No, media landscape, you can take out conservative, Zach, since COVID, attracting a goldmine of potential voters for conservative parties and the attention of their leaders. Well, for all parties. Peters' attack late last year on the Public Interest Journalism Fund was one of the platform's first viral moments. It wasn't actually. We've had some before that, Zach. Can I just say this is no longer Jessica Tova tirade during the coalition signing ceremony was aimed at Wright. No, it wasn't. Who used nearly the same words to explain why he started the platform. Seymour seems eager to show his interest in early childhood education to Wright. The Wright family runs the biggest childhood chain in the country, Best Start Educare, with about 260 centres. ECE is one of 4 key industries Seymour wants to deregulate in his new role as Minister of Regulation, a move sure to keep him in Wright's thoughts. Well, I've got to say, I don't know about early childhood education, and it's got nothing to do with the platform. Cute overtures aside, both men have been doing the mahi to get Wright's treats. For someone who's built his career on hating the media, Peter absolutely loves the platform. In the last 12 months, he's been interviewed a whopping 24 times. Oh, they've gone and done the deep dive now. He hasn't managed to keep up with younger rival, though, with Seymour appearing 32 times. Oh, they've really put some effort into this, haven't they? You've got some statistics, Zach. You must know what you're talking about. The only other political party who's appeared on the platform is Christopher Luxon, just twice. No, we had Hipkins on. You missed that, Zach. Safe to say Luxon is not a real threat in this contest. Well, he's welcome to come on, Luxon, but we've had tons of National Party MPs on. They've done a little graph of the number of times people have appeared. Data taken. After the sample period, they've done a survey of when people have. We must have them worried. Peters may trail Seymour by 8 appearances, but he has made up for it by the deficit by maximising his quality time with Wright and the platform. The only interview Peters did with any media outlet during the coalition negotiations with the platform, despite its tiny viewership, compared with established outlets such as News Talk, ZB and RNZ. Wrong, Zach. I got more YouTube subscribers, like 4 times more, than ZB. And you are, for a tech entrepreneur, you have very little idea about the way new media is moving. This was an absolute coup for the fledgling startup. No, it wasn't. It was just an interview with Winston, you bozo. The country and media establishment were forced to learn about the shape of the next government from a 2-year-old company whose editor-in-chief once encouraged people to read the Christchurch Terrorist Manifesto. No, I didn't, Zach. That's bullshit. Actually, it's an editor-in-chief who's been a journalist for 40 years now, Zach. Right? And has never once been successfully sued for defamation. So, Zach, you're letting your Labour affiliations show. Gift giving. Both parties' leaders are investing significant time and effort into this toxic love triangle, which raises the question, what do they see in it? Zach, you've got to put the pipe down, buddy, or I want some of what you're on.